Right guys, welcome back to some more F1 2019 career mode here today, and we are back for the Russian Grand Prix. If you guys missed the last episode, then go watch it by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of your screen for the Singapore Grand Prix, a race in which it had a very, very interesting development and also a very interesting ending, as you might be able to tell by the title. Either way, we are here now at the Sochi Autodrom for the Russian Grand Prix, one of my least favourite tracks on the calendar, probably my top 3 to be honest with you. I just don't enjoy this track whatsoever, and this weekend we do have a triple upgrade on the car. 2 of them are for performance, so we have a minor fuel consumption upgrade. We also have a ultimate rear downforce upgrade, and finally we have the first of the durability upgrades on the car for the entire season, and that is for the electrical systems, aka the control electronics. And that does mean with the upgrades we do jump all the way from 4th up to 2nd place in the development chart. Also Mercedes as well, worth noting, they've overtaken a few cars lately and they're now up to 5th place, so both Ferrari and Mercedes recovering back to what they once were and slowly becoming a top team once again. Red Bull, though, as you guys know, fully maxed out at the minute. They're pretty much unreachable. They've got so much pace and their car is so damn quick. As things stand, we do have one more upgrade remaining, which is scheduled to arrive at the next race, and it's another major upgrade for the engine, and that is it. That will mean that we've completed all the performance related upgrades on the car possible this season, and that means the car will be pretty much maxed out in terms of performance, so we'll be seeing that in the next episode. But also worth noting, guys, for some reason the Red Bull driver suits seem to be glitching this. I keep trying to fix them, but they keep on glitching out, so you have to excuse me if you keep seeing them like that, but there's nothing I can really do. I don't know why, they just seem to break and they don't seem to work with the mods. Ever since patch 1.20 came out, there seems to be an issue, but either way, we're now going to focus on the action, and here we are in qualifying. And this was my first run out of 3 in the qualifying session. It was actually my best run, surprisingly, because you'll see what happened in a minute on my 2nd and 3rd runs. But this was a pretty decent opening lap, to be honest with you. Currently Hamilton setting the pace in the racing point, and you know, we were quickest in practice by about 9/10. I was really fast in practice. I was doing practice at 108% AI, so I pushed it up to 109, but then suddenly in qualifying the AI really stepped up the pace, and in hindsight I wish I'd kept it at 108, so that wasn't ideal, as the AI actually caught me out in terms of their pace. They were much quicker than I expected. Having said that, I thought we still could compete here today, and I think we did have a good car, you know, to work with. And you can see currently on the back straight, approaching the end of sector 2, we are going to see what the gap is to Perez, who's currently P1, and it's about half a second, so we are a little bit off the pace, you know, considering where we should be with this car, as we now make our way through the final sector under the bridge, just trying to make sure we end the lap strongly. And this corner now very tricky, off cambered left, which then follows up into a kind of cambered right. Really important to use all the curbing available to you to really make the track as wide as possible, as we now go into the final 2 corners here. A couple of downshifts, and then really open up these final corners, especially the last one. Try and really open up the entry to attack the apex, and we do set a purple final sector, but we only go 3rd place, and it wasn't a great lap. Eventually we got pushed down to 8th in qualifying, and my 2nd run, unfortunately, we got a bit of a corner cut through turn 2 there on the exit apex, and that is going to mean that lap is invalidated. Having said that, I still pushed on anyway, and you can see the delta in the top right hand corner of the screen. We're about 4.5 tenths up, nearly 5 tenths on this lap, and, you know, compared to our previous best. And I know there was at least half a second there as I bailed into the pit lane and abandoned, so I know there's half a second on my lap at least. And unfortunately I never got a chance to find that, because on my final attempt we got blocked by Verstappen here through the turn 3, which completely ruined my line into turn 4. As you can see there, we threw away a lot of time on the delta. Eventually though, I recovered and I got my delta back to positive, but then through this right hander, the Williams just, yeah.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
I don't know what happened there. The Williams just, I've got nothing. It just sums up the AI, you know, on the blue flags for the last 2 or 3 games. The AI are very retarded when it comes to blue flags. They're literally stupid when it comes to, you know, getting out of the way in the right places. I mean, I literally had nowhere to go there, and I was on a lap, you know, and there was more time to make up. Either way, unfortunately for us, it is only going to be P9, which is not great. There was definitely half a second on that lap at least, which I think I could have definitely got 3rd place. I think that was achievable. Either way, Kvyat, though, luckily for us, has put it on the front row in his home race alongside Max Verstappen. So once again, those 2 locking at the front row. George Russell P3, and then Perez P4, Gasly P5. And I think, you know, even on a pretty average lap, we could have definitely got 4th place. So a disappointing way to end qualifying, but hopefully we can try and turn it around in the race tomorrow, as we jump into things here for round 16 of the season for the Russian Grand Prix.
Welcome one and all to the Russian Grand Prix. We're just a stone's throw from the Georgian border here at Sochi as we get ready to begin the race that served up an absolute cracker back in 2015. A last lap collision between Kimi Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas sparked controversy in that race, so let's hope the racing is just as tight today. Situated just 3 miles from the Georgian border, the 3.6 mile Sochi Autodrom has two notable overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and then turn 13. 18 corners in total here, 12 to the right and 6 to the left, and it's an average lap speed of around 130 miles per hour. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? Everything's on the line here today and the title hangs in the balance. So how do you think they'll be coping with all that pressure?
I think as long as they keep their mind on the task and not its historical significance, they'll be just fine. This is a race just like any other. You do the best you can and accept that sometimes things are going to happen outside of your control. If they can approach today with that attitude, the pressure shouldn't be a problem.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he starts from pole position. And just starting behind them is Daniel Kvyat, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Perez, Pierre Gasly and Vettel, Leclerc, Hamilton, Martinez and Carlos Sainz. Norris, Giovinazzi, Nico Hülkenberg and Raikkonen, Magnussen, Stroll, Valtteri Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo. Grosjean and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So after that horrible qualifying, the pressure is on to try and turn around this weekend's result, and we are going to start from 9th place. Unfortunately, no penalties for anybody around us, so we're not going to get any promotions in terms of actual grid position. Having said that, though, we are going to try our best to fight our way back through the field and at least try and get a top 5 finish, maybe even a podium. I think that's possible. Having said that, strategy is going to be very difficult because everyone's going to go for the exact same strategy, soft tyre onto medium, and that's pretty much the same thing for the entire grid, to be honest with you. So we're going to try and basically have to get past the old-fashioned way, which is overtake everybody on track. In terms of fuel, we're running 1 extra lap, so not too heavy but not too light, but enough that we can turn the engine up and make some overtakes. I may even pit for an early undercut possibly if we see the chance, because the mediums can go for a long time around here. Either way, we're going to try and do our absolute best and score some big points. So let's jump into it and let's see how we get on here for the Russian Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Let's try and make up for that qualifying disaster as the 5 red lights come on. And it's lights out and away we go. And it's not a terrible start, to be honest with you. We get away reasonably well. Sainz manages to get on the inside there, so I couldn't quite cover the position. We are going to be on the outside into turn 2. I'm going to look for the outside line. Come on, let's see if we can find a bit of space. A bit of contact there as I think Sainz tried to lock onto my rear tub. We've managed to hold on to 9th place, which is good. Making our way flat out through turn 3, of course. Let's see if we can maybe get a move on a couple of guys early on and make a bit of progress, but so far it's going to be difficult. We've got a lot of fast cars ahead of us. Of course, we are not great under acceleration. We're always going to lose out compared to the AI, and at the minute the AI are running full power, so we're not going to have that advantage. Lewis going defensive though, he's a bit out of shape. We're going to keep the pressure on him. Switch back again, and there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Job done. Beautiful move as we get past Hamilton. Just going to cover the apex there and not commit too much defending. And a nice clean exit for good measure. And there we go, up to 8th place already. Getting past Lewis and recovering from that bad start. Sebastian Vettel in the Alpha up next with Gasly in front of him. Let's see if we can make some quick progress and dispatch of a few cars. Hopefully by lap 4 or 5 we can try and be near about the top 5 hopefully. And the minute the pace is okay. I've realised Kvyat is actually leading. The Red Bulls have really dropped through the order. They've dropped down to like 4th and 5th. So the Red Bull's not having a good start, and Kvyat setting the pace.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
And now we have DRS. The bad thing is we don't get any acceleration out of traction zones, so we are never really close enough to attack an AR car. But the Red Bulls are battling here with a racing point, and this is all allowing Kvyat to open up a gap out front in the lead, which is good. So at the minute, Kvyat leading this home race. It'd be a fantastic occasion to win. It'll also be our first win this season as a team. We've come close in the last 2 races, didn't quite achieve it, so hopefully Kvyat can pull that off here today. That wasn't a terrible exit there, but Sebastian's just pulled away enough that I can't quite get close enough to him. We are pulling him in a little bit on the straight, but we're not going to be close enough. Even on the braking, I'm okay. Sebastian locks up, but we can't quite make a move just yet. Looks like Verstappen's got himself into second place, getting past the racing point. Oh, Seb goes defensive. Can we get the switch back? Yes, we do. Again, put him under pressure. We're going to turn the engine up early. A little bit hot there. Sebastian into the corner. We're going to get the switch back again. And there we go. This time we get it, although he's going to try and match us in a drag race. But now when we start to hit top gear, we start to edge away. I'm quite late on the brakes. We are going to hold it on the inside. Seb tries to stick there, but we're going to get the line. And there we go. Job done. Up to P7. One by one. They're all falling down. We're making slow but definite progress. Up next, Gasly and Leclerc. Leclerc will start to drop off. That Williams, of course, isn't as quick as it once was. So they will start to slow down a little bit, I think. That's a pretty good run through there. I've got a relatively decent exit. I think Gasly's too close, though, to the Williams. He's going to get a perfect toe, which is going to keep him in front for now. Yep. I couldn't even force him to go defensive, which is a shame. He does lock up, though, but I can't quite get the switch back through there, so we're going to have to sit behind for now. This is becoming a little bit frustrating because I want to try and move. I've got the pace, and seemingly Kvyat does have the pace as well, so there is a 1-2 on the cards if I can get past a few of these guys. Every passing lap, the undercut is looking like the better option. Starting to struggle on my tyres a little bit. Feel like I'm overheating. I'm on the cusp of it. We're not close enough here. I am considering the undercut. I think it's going to happen on lap 9 or 10. This is becoming so frustrating as a race now. I'm going to pit next lap for the mediums instead of lap 12. Hopefully it pays off. Gasly is very slow, but we've had a pretty piss poor exit. Right when it mattered the most. I am still closer than I ever have been. But will it be enough? Come on. Can we put him under some pressure into turn 2? If Williams goes defensive, we're going to look around the outside. He gives me a push off the track. And that's going to put me under pressure now from Sebastian Vettel. We're lucky enough to cover the track nicely. But we're going to box this lap because I can't deal with this anymore. I'm just wasting time. Guys, you might go for a move on Leclerc here. Leclerc doesn't have DRS. And there you go. Guys, he makes the pass. Bit of a lock up from him. This is why we're losing time. Let's stay there. I'm not going to commit to a move because we're going to box, I think. Hopefully nobody else pits and reads my strategy call because this can be a game changer. Looks like nobody is going to pit. So here we go then, into the pit lane. Easy does it. Do not speed. Slow it down to 60 and there we go. That's perfect. Right on the money. Okay, game changer. Here we go. We need one or two or three very strong laps after this and I might be able to undercut everybody if they keep battling, which is what I'm hoping for.
Release.
There we go. That's on the money. 2 seconds flat. Spot on. Hopefully we get some clean air as well. That would be ideal, but there is a couple of cars down here which may just affect our rhythm. Hopefully we can make it work regardless and make some quick overtakes if we need to.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
It's going to be close with Grosjean, but he is going to get just in front of us. I was hoping to maybe be in front of him. We're going to have to rejoin behind. He does lock up though. That's the invitation I need to go through. Oh my goodness me, that was pretty nasty. We almost had contact there. I'm trying to get through on the inside. Grosjean's having none of it. Down the inside this time at turn 4. There we go. Now we get past. Luckily we kept our wing intact as well. But that wasn't perfect. That was a necessary time lost there. So we've got to try and push now. I'm going to crank up the ERS deployment. We're going to drain the battery to make up for lost time. I've also turned up my front wing in the pit stop because I feel like I had a bit too much understeer for my liking. So let's go after it. Let's pick up a track extension there. DRS and Alex Albon here. Can we try and get past the Haas on this straight? And try not to lose any time. Kvyat pits from the lead.
Any in the pits.
Damn it, that was not good. We lost a bit of time there. Almost perfect, but I locked up. Okay, cars in the pit lane. We do set a personal best. Here we go. Let's see where we rejoin. There's Leclerc. And there is Perez. So we're going to pretty much be neck and neck with him. There's Verstappen in front. But we do get Sergio Perez. So there we go. The undercut worked. It paid off. We've got ourselves right amongst this now in this podium battle. A very good undercut. Even though we had a few mistakes, it wasn't smooth. It still paid off. Verstappen get held up here by the Toro Rosso. I believe with Daniel Ricciardo. Look at this, he's right on the back foot here. It's going to give me the opportunity to maybe get past the Red Bull. Here we go, let's try and get a double overtake. The Toro Rosso also has DRS. 2 wide, we're about to make it 3 wide. Oh, that was close. Down the inside on the brakes. Got to leave some room. Back end sliding about all over the place. We're right on his gearbox though. Let's keep this pressure on. See if we can get ahead of the championship leader. That'd be great for us. There goes the Mercedes into the pit lane. So Verstappen won't have DRS in the straight, which is perfect. So we can just get a nice clean exit out of the final corner. I may have a chance. Here we go. Remaining cars are pitting in. Here we go, we're gaining. There is George Russell as well. We're going to try and get in the middle of them. Here we go, down the inside. And we get past both Red Bulls. And there it is. Up to a net P2. Kvyat is the next car up the road. That was absolutely perfect. Oh, man. The undercut of dreams. Now, can we hold on to this to the end of the race and make it a 1-2 for us? What a way to pick up our first win as a team with a potential 1-2 finish. More cars in the pit lane. And there we go, up to P3. 1 more car remains, which is currently in the lead. In the meantime, can we keep George Russell behind? Looks like we should be able to. Our straight line speed seems good enough, which is good to see for a change. So it seems like we can compete with the Red Bulls on the straights as we pick up our second track extension there. So I've got to be careful now for the rest of the race. So far we're doing a good job. We're keeping our own. Pace is good. And straight line speed is very good as well, which also helps. So we're keeping the Red Bulls at bay. I'd like to see Max try and put a move on Russell so that they would lose time and potentially drop out of the DRS range. That's what I need that to happen really, because that would help me out. Because I feel like once I'm out of DRS range, they won't get back in. But for now, they're kind of staying in that 1 second window, and it's kind of hard for me to shake them off. But so far, so good. I feel like George Russell may be close enough this time, so I'm going to have to give it full power. He's definitely closer. We are going to have to go defensive as well. Into turn 2. We're going to hold the inside though quite easily. And that will put Russell on the back foot now versus his teammate. Hopefully they can battle away. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Lando Norris pits. So that's going to give us second place in this race now. So as it stands, it's a 1-2 for Ferrari for the first time this season. And what a way it would be to pick up the win with a 1-2 finish. Here comes Russell again though. We've got to turn the engine up to stay in front. I went a little bit defensive, but Russell didn't quite commit, so I went back onto the racing line. We're getting there, lap by lap, it's slowly ticking over, and we're getting closer to the end of the race. We're almost there. I would love though for Verstappen to put a move on his teammate. That would give me all I need to pull away and open up a gap, because my pace is actually pretty good. My pace is not that far off today. Here comes Russell again, he's going to get the run. He's going to go to the left hand side, that's going to give him the shorter run to the apex. I'm going to try and hang in there, side by side with him. Trying to compete on the brakes. We just about hang on though. Around the outside, fantastic bit of defensive driving, keeping it clean all the way through. And once again we stay in front of the Red Bull driver, but not by much. The pressure is building. Looks like Sergio Perez in the Racing Point is about to join the party, and we need something, because until the 2 cars behind stop running in a bloody formation and actually start battling, I can't shake off this goddamn DRS train that I've got. So I need something to help me out. At the minute, Russell's going to get the run of me this time. I've not had a good exit out the final corner. We're going to just show him to the outside once again. Standard procedure really for turn 2, and we can do that all day. But again, Verstappen doesn't continue and put a move on now. I'm going to turn the engine up though and try and pull away here. I've got a little bit of a gap through turn 3, so I'm going to try and use it.
Some information on Norris. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Lando out the race in the Haas. First retirement. Shame for him, because he wasn't the soft tyre. He had the fast lap to the race to his name. He was going really well, but that's gone now. Not a great lock up there, that's going to hurt me quite a bit. Russell again is close, he's going to go for another move. Here he comes, we're going to show him to the long way around this time. This time I'm on the outside through here, but that's okay. We'll get the gas on nice and early and put the squeeze on the exit, there we go. Here comes Russell again. He's going to try for another move. We're going to show him to the outside into turn 2. Which, like I said, we can do this all day. That's not a problem. Again, Verstappen tried to get past, but again, failed. Kimi Räikkönen now in the Mercedes. Second retirement of the Grand Prix here today. It's looking good now. I feel comfortable that I can bring this home. I don't really feel under pressure anymore. Having said that, Russell's going to make me go quiet here by putting the pressure on, but he's not close enough, so that's okay. I think we've got this now. I'm not too worried, like I said. Strong lap from us. I'm trying to push and really stretch this out up to the line, and it is a personal best as we now go on to the last lap of the race. We've got to defend one more time. Russell's closer than ever. Here on the last lap we've actually dropped Verstappen. Here goes George to the outside. Easy does it. Nicely done there, perfectly executed. Right, one more straight to go and we're home and dry, but I think we should be okay. Kvyat's definitely got the win wrapped up, which is good. Here comes Russell one more time. We're going to defend the inside. Russell is going to go to the left hand side. We are negative on fuel as well, side by side with Russell, but we put the squeeze on him, running a little bit deep on the brakes. Well, that will do it. Through this little chicane, Kvyat will win the Russian Grand Prix, his home race, and Ferrari's first win of the season. And here we go then through the final couple of corners, and to add to that, we are going to make it a Ferrari 1-2. And what a way to make a statement going into season number 6. But there we go, across the line. Job done. Get in.
Yes, 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 we're on the podium. Good job this weekend. Great drive. Thank you.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today? Another podium. You must be getting used to it up there. That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you? Appreciate your time.
Right, so looking at the final race results, Daniil Kvyat wins the Russian Grand Prix, and that is Ferrari's first 1-2 finish and also first win of the season. Maximum points for us, 43 points, with Red Bull in third and fourth, Russell ahead of Verstappen. Verstappen, I want to say, maybe had damage because he never once looked like he was going to get past his own teammate, which is weird because he's dominated him all season long. But other than that, we've got Perez P5, Hamilton in 6th, picking up the fight up of the Grand Prix, Gasly 7th, Sebastian Vettel 8th, and then we've got Hülkenberg and Leclerc running out the top 10. And the top 8, team by team order, so 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. As then we have Giovinazzi missing out the points along with Stroll, Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Bottas, Grosjean, with Raikkonen and Norris retiring from the Grand Prix. And in terms of the standings after that race, Kvyat does overtake me, but we are equal on points. But again, we're pushing forward together here, and we're neck and neck pushing each other on. And at the minute, the hunt for third place in the championship is well and truly on, as we're really closing in on Sergio Perez also, and then Sebastian Vettel and Pierre Gasly as well. And in terms of the constructors, we remain in 4th place, but look at that, we are now right behind Racing Point and Alpha, and the battle for second is on. Meanwhile, the Red Bull are now officially constructors champions, and they've done it with 5 races to spare, so GG's to them. But guys, that is it for this episode and this video here today of Career Mode. If you guys enjoyed it, then drop a like on the video and subscribe if you are new for daily Formula 1 content, and also turn on notifications, guys, to not miss any future content from me. And also, guys, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But that is it from me here today at Russia, guys, and we will see you guys in the next one very soon for the Japanese Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.